Talk us through it, Master Samir. What's the bug? What are we working on?
So, can you see my screen?
I can.
You can't?
I can. We're all good.
Cool. So, my question is, I am trying to, okay, so I will show you what it looks like. So, I'm trying to implement the sign-in page, correct? And right now, so if you look at my index.js, can I move this around somewhere? Move it here. If you look at my index.js, I have a route for sign-in page. And should work, but it's not. It's just giving me back to a landing page. I don't know why.
Okay, so we're talking routing.
Yeah.
And the issue is we are not hitting routes that we expect to be hitting.
Yes.
Cool. All of the knowledge I have around routing was from Ian in the Alexa for Musicians project. So do you have the Alexa for Musicians project open for us to reference?
Somewhere here. It was here. Do I have two different things open?
Me?
I do, don't I? Here it is. Musicians AI website.
Yeah. SRC and then main.js.
Main.js. Okay.
So he defines it all in main.js. And my biggest question is, where does he call main.js, and are we calling it in the same way?
Export
you have your stuff defined in index.js, right?
Yeah.
So let's see how he's doing it.
He's doing it in app.js. Yeah, he's doing it in app.js where he imports main.
He imports main, and then all that main contains is
all of the routes.
A switch with a bunch of routes. So now let's check back on your code. Do you have a switch with a bunch of routes? It looks like you do, and then a router on the outside. Let's jump back over to Alexa for Musicians code. I want to see the router. Where is route? Would that be an app.js? No. Set of divs.
Main, no.
Okay, so it looks like you have a router. Oh yeah, go to index.js. No. Index.js in Alexa for Musicians.
Index.js, there we go.
There it is. Okay, so there's a router that wraps around app. So it goes router is the parent. Then it surrounds divs inside of the router. And then inside of those divs, it has a switch followed by routes. Inside of React DOM.render. Now let's check out your code again. Router, switch, routes. That all looks good.
I just don't know why it's not working.
When you change...
If I change this to root, like I'll show you, if I do it this way, we'll change this to root, and go back, and see now I get the sign-in page.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know what's going on, why it's not working.
Interesting. Okay.
Some of these are the reasons why I wanted to switch back to the way we were doing it. Those are all component based.
This is a route issue. So there's a routing issue. Once we figure this out, we'll be fine from now on out. My question is, why isn't it? Okay, so when you wait, so that's working for you.
Yeah, but when I put in this first one, it just sticks to the first one for some weird reason.
Okay. Let's check back at the Alexa for Musicians code again. In main.js, I believe.
Main.js, not main.js. It'll be this one. Yeah.
Now let's go back to your code. Okay, I think I might know. Notice what's between route and path inside of your on line 15.
Nothing.
And now check in the other one.
Do you think the word exact needs to be there?
I think if without the word exact, I have a feeling it treats it as a wild card.
Okay, let's try it. Let's try that. Oh, there we go. You're right.
Ba 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 da ba da ba da.
One more question.
Let's go.
So here, so you can see what we will close this. We don't need this right now. This, when you click on the sign in, it's supposed to take you to the sign-in page, but I don't know how to do that routing yet.
Okay. So right off the bat, I think we are missing one line from that, which is push history. So can we open up an example from Alexa for Musicians? Is that okay?
Yeah. Which would you want?
Let's open up the landing page because I believe the landing page has some routing like that for Alexa for Musicians.
Okay, so components, landing.js.
Yeah. Yep. This.props.history.push.
Oh, this stuff. I'm missing the history.
I think also the props. I think right now you're just doing this.push.
This props.history.push.
Yep. See if that works.
Property props
Cool.
if undefined.
Cool. That's awesome. Let's go back. Okay, so we don't have this defined in there. And that's probably why doesn't it like that? We might need one more set of curly brackets around this.props.push.signin.
Another one.
Yeah.
This?
Yeah. Try that. See if that works. Nope. Looks like you're about to get the error. Yeah. Okay. The issue is we're not passing this inside into that component, so we need
Some way to bind it.
okay. Before we do anything, we are missing a definition of the constructor. We're missing the constructor for this component. We don't
Is
need
that necessary?
in React, it's not necessary unless you start trying to access props in state, which we're trying to do right now is access props.
Okay.
So we do need the constructor at this point because we have not no, they don't have it there. Wait, go back to landing.
This is landing.
Yeah, that doesn't have the constructor.
But it's extending component, maybe? I don't know.
Class home extends component. Interesting that we never renamed that to landing and that it's still called home.
I wanted to ask that question, but
it should be landing. I'm surprised that it's actually working without proper naming.
I was too.
Go to home then, because it looks like home. The home folder.
Home.
Copy that.
Here they have a constructor. Okay.
Yeah, copy that constructor over to your code.
Copy here. Put it in here. Inside here.
Yep, right there. And now delete the this.state equals. You're not set in state. Okay, see if it works now. We might still be out of scope, but this was one hypothesis. Uh-oh. Now it looks like it might not like what we're doing.
Unexpected token. Expected this on line 24. I don't think Alexa's inside of the function call.
Agreed. Now he's not defining. We're not defining any component here.
Yeah, so that's what I was confused on. Like, where is this? Like, how is he routing? I don't understand. Let me try this link to. Maybe that might be it. Let's just get rid of this for now. Come on, reload.
Delete the constructor we added in.
Yeah, so he's using link to instead of this.props.push.
Oh, so that'll work for you. Link to.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think I will do that.
Awesome. Cool. Can we see that button working again one more time? So before, when we first started this video, what was broken? What didn't work?
Routing. Routing was the issue. I couldn't get routing to work when using path, so I had to write in exact path because probably like you said, it was a wildcard issue.
That was the first one.
First
What's the
one. The
second
second
thing?
one is trying to get routing to work when clicking. Because I've been reading that link is not a good way to do it. On click is better, but the way he's having set up, link is what he's using to do it, to route to a different page. Which is why I don't understand.
Interesting. Why have you heard link is not good?
I mean, Stack Overflow, people keep saying that. They keep saying, let me see.
I'm curious.
I have Stack Overflow somewhere here. So all see, this is why I was like, every single one of these uses constructor and prop. So I was like wondering how we do state management as well in this case. But if I want to change from sign in to sign out, I have to figure that out too.
Yeah, that's a great question. Where is he doing state management? Do you want to look at that now or later?
Yeah, I want to look at that now. I just don't know where it is.
Okay. Let's see where we're referencing header links.
All right.
Where is header links referenced?
Search. That's a lot of pages.
Do the one in components.js.
Do the one. This one?
Yeah. This is so interesting that there's no state.
Yeah, that's what I was still like figuring out, like what's going on.
Run Control Shift F. Yeah, run that search for state or this dot state. So for everybody watching, we got this template from a guy named Creative Tim. He's got a lot of React and other web development templates out there for free. So we're trying to use this template, but we're trying to understand the template.
This is home.js, which is not what we want.
Now that looks normal because we can see.
This is ours. This is our code.
I was going to say that
extends Creative Tim.
That looks exactly like how we build.
Yeah, but it's not Creative Tim, so I'm curious. Maybe I'll just do a Stack Overflow search for Creative Tim and.
Wait, so is this might be telling me that he's not using state anywhere?
Yeah, I don't think he is.
Try getting rid of the this dot state. He might be calling state differently instead of using the this dot. Try just state. These are all manufactured. Are we in the right project base? This is all manufactured housing.
Which is what we're supposed to be in.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Index.js, main.py, master. Wow, we have a lot of state things. Property.js, rent.js, sale.js, index.js.
Oh yeah, I guess in real estate there are a lot of states.
Yeah. So, Bootstrap.
Yeah, Bootstrap won't matter. Collapse that Bootstrap one. That doesn't matter to us.
jQuery.
Doesn't matter. Nope. That maybe.
Custom dropdown?
Ah, it looks like he might use state.
React.use state.
Now, okay, so look up that command, react.use state.
He's got a lot of them here now.
That's what he's doing. So that's how he's doing state. So use state. Let's see if there's anything else besides. Try react.set state.
Nope.
And what? Okay, I don't know what this use state command is. That's the next thing I want to look up. React use state.
He's all using use state. This is very interesting code.
It says hooks are a new addition in React. You want me to share my screen?
Yes, please. I'll stop sharing mine. Cool.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Using the state hook. This was the first result that came up when I looked up React use state. Hooks are a new addition in React 16.8. They let you use state and other React features without writing a class.
Oh. Okay.
So these are functions similar to, it looks like how he's writing, where there's no component, but it looks like he is using state. Equivalent class example. Now here is what we're used to writing, where we extend a component.
Right.
And then we have this constructor, and then we do the stuff in here where we set a state of count and we increment it by 1. Looks like up here they're doing count, and maybe they're assigning the value of count to set count.
Maybe. Declare a new state variable, which we'll call it count. And then set count is the function.
That sounds right. Let's keep reading. If you use classes, that looks familiar. The state starts as count 0, and we increment state count when the user clicks a button, calling this dot set state. Yeah, they click a button and it does that. Do they have any button up here? They do. Set count. Okay.
Okay.
We'll use snippets. You might be wondering why we're using a counter here instead of a more realistic example. This is focus on API while we're making our first use of hooks. Hooks and function, as a reminder, function components in React look like this.
Which is what he's using.
You've seen that somewhere?
Yeah, that's well, he's using the second one.
This one?
Yeah.
Got it.
See, yeah, he's using that one.
You might also know these as stateless components. We're now introducing the ability to use a React state from a stateless component. We prefer to name function components. I agree. Using state in a stateless component sounds kind of counterintuitive, so to call it function component sounds better.
That's fine.
Don't worry. What's a hook? Use state. Okay, so they import that. What is a hook? A hook is a special function that lets you hook into React features. For example, the use state is a hook that lets you add React state to function components. We'll learn other hooks later. When would I use a hook? If you write a function component and realize you need to add some state to it, previously you had to convert it to a class. Now you can use a hook inside of your existing function component. Interesting. There's some special rules. Declaring a state variable. In this class, we initialize count to 0 in the constructor. In a function component, we have no use for this. We have no this. So every time we use this, it looks like we won't be using that anymore.
Right.
So we can't read or assign this dot state. Instead, we call use state hook directly inside our component. What does it do? It declares a state variable. Our variable is called count, but we could call it anything else. This way we preserve values between function calls. Use state is a new way to use the exact same capabilities that this dot state provides. Okay, use state does the same capabilities of this dot state.
Okay.
Normally variables disappear when the function exits, but state variables are preserved by React. What do we pass to use state as an argument? The only argument to the use state hook is the initial state. Unlike with classes, the state doesn't have to be an object. We can keep a number or a string if that's all we need. In our example, we want a number for how many times the user clicked, so pass 0 as the initial state for the variable. If we wanted to store 2 different values, we would call use state twice. Okay. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
What does it return? It returns a pair of values, the current state, and a function that updates it. This is why we write const count and set count equals use state. This is similar to this dot state dot count and this dot set state.
Okay.
In a class, except you get them in a pair. If you're not familiar, does that make sense, or did you just say?
Yeah, it makes sense. So how does a component will update, component mount, all those work then with this type of case? That's very curious.
I feel like those are normal hooks. Have you? Well, let's go back to you. That's a great question. I'm gonna stop sharing and let's Control Shift F in your code base to see for one of those components.
Okay.
You mind sharing again?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me share screen. That one. Wow, I have a. Okay, so let's search for React.component. Maybe it's a React.component type thing.
look up component will mount.
Component will mount.
All one word.
Ah. That was a delete button. VoiceOver, that's it.
That's us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're asking a great question.
I mean, I'm feeling like this is all new way of doing things, so we should probably learn it. Would you agree?
I agree with you 100%.
Component will mount hooks. Here we go. How can we use component will mount lifecycle method inside a hook? Use effect hook is equivalent to component did mount.
Interesting.
Component will unmount. Interesting. Component will mount will not be supported in the future. If you want to do something before component mount, just do it in the. That's not going to help us. I guess use effect is what we're going for.
Use effect.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep. Use effect right there.
Okay, let's look up use effect.
Nice.
Using the effect hook. Sorry, this full screen.
React 16.8. Let me see what the most recent version of React is.
Yeah.
Most recent version of React. It looks like right now the most recent version is 16.8.6.
Which is us, 16.8.
Perfect. I'm back to you.
So the effect hook lets you perform side effects and function components. So use effect, so you can update the document title using the browser API, yada, yada, yada. The snippet is based on the counter example used from the previous page, but we add a new feature to it. We set the document title to a custom message, including the number of clicks. Okay, data fetching, setting up a subscription, or manual changing the DOM and React components are all examples of side effects. Whether or not you're used to calling these operations, side effects are just effects. You've likely performed them in your components before. So if you're familiar with React class lifecycle, you can think of use effect hook as component did mount, component did update, and component will unmount combined.
Super helpful. That line right there was super helpful.
Cool. These are all interesting. We can build our own hooks too. Cool. So example using classes. In a React class component, the render method itself shouldn't cause side effects. It would be too early. We typically want to perform our effects after React has updated the DOM. And we put side effects into component did mount and component did update. So yeah. Okay. Example using use effect. So that is reduced to 2 lines.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That's sweet. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Now I feel like wanting to play with this, and then we can do another video later on in the day using all these.
I'm down. I'm down. I think that's right. So we'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to stop this recording. We've given a lot, but we'll be back tomorrow to talk more React technologies. Samir, any final words?
Keep learning. Always keep learning.